Why I decided to solo travel at 18 years old. I can break it down into 2 points, the motives and the goals. First, a quick intro. I graduated high school at 17 years old. 7 months later, on April the 14th, I packed up everything into a bag and left Australia with nothing but passion and ambition. 4 days after leaving Australia, I turned 18. Since then, I have been to Berlin, Bulgaria, That's golden, man. Look at
Entertaining, it's for a second of the day.
Albania, France. But I really am in the middle of fuck all nowhere. And Georgia. How you doing back there, Jay? And I have been on an absolute adventure. So let's begin with the motives over the screaming babies in the park next to me. The baby decided to stop screaming. Let's begin first with the motive. When I was very young, my dad brought me a video game called Rome Total War. I became obsessed with that video game and in turn obsessed with ancient Roman history, which further developed into European history, which further developed into world history. So from then on, I have had an immense desire to travel. And that was since, God, I can't even remember, I was so young, below 10 years old. That is where it all began. Since then, further ideas festered and swelled in my head until I came up with the idea that I could go traveling across Europe on some big piss-off adventure. When I was in year 12, I had no genuine passion or ambition to pursue any career. I did not know what I wanted to do, and I found it would be very silly to commit to any studies or any work if I was not passionate. I would not commit, I would not give it my all. So with this in mind, I discovered that I think it would be best for me to go solo traveling. That way I could find passion, I could find interest, I could find opportunities that I would only get through traveling. For example, through traveling, I have found that I absolutely love flowers. I would not have known that. Every time I walk by roses, it makes my day. I go for a smell. Maybe I'll become a florist. Small things like that I've only discovered through travel have really validated my point. On top of that, I have found it is very possible to travel essentially forever, maybe as a native English speaker, because I have met people who've been traveling 10 plus years, up to 30 years old, people of all ages who travel, because you can find work on the road which can fuel your travels, which can lead you to more work. So with no real passion or ambition in any field to study or pursue a career, I decided it would be best to go traveling alone and discover what my passions, what my interests, and see if I can come across any opportunities. So that was the motive. That is why I decided to go traveling. Now let's go on to the 3 goals. In order, here's number 1. So on to number 1, the main reason I decided to go traveling is to meet people. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet, and by living in my little Northern Beaches community in little isolated Australia, I was not exploiting the potential of the human potential. Out there is future wife, future best friends, group of best friends, future enemies, people to teach lessons to and people to have lessons from. 7.5 billion people out there, and I want to try and meet them all. Of course, that is a goal I will never achieve, as they are dying and being born as I speak, but that raw potential that is not being exploited as I stay home is just immense, and I could not travel without finding it. So I find it very important that I try travel, try meet people, I try learn languages so I can meet more people, because out there is life-changing experience and I feel the immense need to exploit it. So on to number 2. Number 2 is I want stories and adventures to tell that would be an absolute marvel to hear, let alone for an 18-year-old. In some ways, I've already done that, but let me explain. So I've been traveling for 5 months and I have been in a lot of situations. I want to tell stories that will impress anybody who hears it. First of the stories I can think of is that time in France I got hitchhiking. I'll link it down below. I went hitchhiking in France and it involved being stuck in a village, stuck on a highway, picked up by police and covering 200 kilometers in less than 7 hours. I probably walked 20 kilometers that day. Now, I could tell that full story. I could spend ages telling it, and adventures like that I appreciate. I have been in the illegal section of the Paris catacombs for an entire night. I'll also link that down. I'll link every video I'm talking about down. Experiences like that. Even the French people, most of them haven't been in the catacombs. I walked in to get a temporary face tattoo, and the tattoo artist literally stumbled in drunk. I could committed to it for the story. Another video on that. Extend, I got one on my neck because I didn't want any scars on my face, as he said the skin was too sensitive. So I still have 2 months of travel left, and I intend to go on some thrilling adventures for a thrilling story. So in 5 months, I've already achieved 3 off the top of my head. At 18 years old, at a lifetime, that is what I want to achieve. I want to achieve impressive feats of human ability to take such opportunities that sitting at home I would never have dreamed of, such as getting this by a drunk tattoo artist. So that was number 2, and I want to take you on to number 3. Number 3, the third most important, at the bottom of number 3, but still in the top. Number 3 gets the bronze medal. That is the basic, I want to see the world, I want to experience cultures, and all the stuff you would expect. Now, it is number 3 as I feel there is so much more to what you can see, but rather the experience and the people you meet. That's why the top 2 are there. However, that is not to degrade the impressiveness of what is out there. For example, the catacombs. I'll throw you back to the catacombs. Absolutely insane. Again, on France, the French food is on another level. The baguettes, the cheese, the wine, it's absolutely insane. Go to Bulgaria, I experienced the culture of a little mountain village where most of them had never seen an Australian. It is impressive how friendly and how kind they are. Now I'm in Georgia seeing vast mountainscapes and such a different language. I'm experiencing such a unique language. It is little things like that, little bits of culture, little bits of humanity in each of these far-sprung regions that also motivates me to travel and will come out with such a wider view on the world. I haven't had yet any absolutely life-changing, jaw-dropping experience. I'm not turning into a hippie or some deep emotional philosopher. However, just the beautiful sights there are around the world and the beautiful sights I'm yet to experience further motivate me to continue what I'm doing. I have 2 years in the United Kingdom. After that, I definitely plan on going on some big other piss-off adventure because I could go for a lifetime provided I have the money I have saved up. Before the video ends, I want to explain how easy it is to travel. Now, I promise you, as long as you have saved up some money, you are able to travel. I have seen people as old as 80 on the road, and I have met kids as young as like 9, 10, I couldn't tell their age, but they're with their family. You can travel almost anywhere, right? All you need is the money and the confidence. I'll put the video down how I explain that, but it is genuinely easy. People in this world are going to help you. Not everyone, but the niceness, I think, is underappreciated because of the media and how you only report on the bad things. You only remember the bad things. My dad said, a nice man is an evil man after a single deed. He didn't say it that poetically. I'm sure he just said something like people only remember the bad stuff you do, but I improved on it. So with simple money, I'm spending between $400 to 600 Australian dollars per month. It is impressive how little money you need as long as you have the ability to learn, and it's not even a tough learn. So I heavily encourage anybody that has the ability to save up money to go traveling. Now, I'll end the video there. I'll chuck a conclusion, because those are the 3 goals out of travel and the motive as to why I travel. Now, I think like 67% of people who watch these don't subscribe. So I'm trying to make money, so could you subscribe? I'd appreciate that effort if you actually made it this far. And on top of that, I need the watch time as well. So if you could like watch more of my videos, I'd heavily appreciate that as well. I'm going to cut it there now, but cheers for watching. I have a big adventure planned coming up, which hopefully will come through. I'm not sure yet. Sorry to lead you on, but maybe.